was first appointed Director of Information in the Ministry of Information during the early days of the Mutharika administration. He was later moved to the State House as Presidential Press Secretary. He once made headlines when he was quoted in the papers, having said that the Mutharika administration was contemplating buying a presidential jet. Reports he dismissed. This week, he was moved back to the Ministry of Information as technical advisor. A lot is being said about his endless movement. What is he making of all this? Today in the program, Capital Street Talk, I'm joined by the man himself, Gerald Viola, former Presidential Press Secretary, now technical advisor in the Ministry of Information. Mr. Gerald Viola, thank you very much for accepting to talk to us here on Capital FM.
Thank you.
We are talking when you've just been redeployed to the Ministry of Information. How do you feel following this development?
I'm very thankful to the President, out of about 17 million Malawians, to consider me for that position. It hasn't been easy, and I don't take it for granted. I thank God for that, because the President keeps entrusting me with the roles that I can be playing in order to move this country forward.
If you can try to make me understand, and of course the rest of our listeners out there to understand, you were Director of Information, you were appointed Presidential Press Secretary, now back to the Ministry as a technical advisor in the ministry. How do you consider that? Is it a demotion or a promotion?
It's not a demotion, and even the letter of appointment which I've received has indicated a step up, that I've moved from my previous position to the current one. That's why I'm thanking the President. Had it been that I was demoted, I would be demoralized, because when you work well, you expect everybody to appreciate how you work. But in government, it is very rare again for someone to be demoted. Maybe I've done some gross malpractice, but otherwise, if you haven't done such kind of gross malpractice, you are not entitled to demotion, but you are entitled to promotion. So I have moved a step up from being where I was to where I am currently. So it's something exactly that my family, myself, and all relations, including those that are friends of mine, have rejoiced to say, no, we are very thankful to the head of state.
No hard feelings whatsoever?
Had it been that the appointment just came without my knowledge, I think probably I should have questioned myself to say, what wrong have I done? But President Professor Mutharika is the president who is a good leader, who believes in consulting an employer and an employee. You are supposed to discuss some matters, especially concerning bigger positions like the one I have now. So we sat down, he called me to say, this is what I'm thinking of you. You have to go there and do A, B, C, D, E. So respected by the President.
Before you continue, Mr. Viola, when the President called you, did he give you an option whether to take up this new role or remain at the State House?
There was no option, but what he told me, it was more convincing, because he wants something that I have to do that side. So I said that, okay, fine, you have been here doing A, B, C, D, E, but now I want you to go to Ministry of Information to do A, B, C, D. It is his prerogative to assign anyone for the roles that he feels are befitting that person. So to me, it was an honor that the President thought that I was to be deployed to Ministry of Information to be technical advisor. If you may recall, technical advisors previously used to be white men. It is a consultancy job. It's not like a small position as Malawians think. But I have to say that the comments from the social media and the people that are talking, probably it's out of ignorance. You know, Malawi has about 70 to 80% rate of those that are illiterate. They don't know exactly how government operates and how positions are supposed to be, respected by those that have been appointed, and what one is supposed to do. What is more important is not State House. What is more important is the nature of the job one is supposed to do. So being at State House is nothing. It's nothing. It's just working. But now I've been given challenges. It is a higher position. Actually, the head of state told me to say it is a challenging position, but I know you will be capable of handling matters which I want you to be doing at the ministry.
Now, Mr. Viola, you've told me that the President did outline what he wants you to fulfill at this ministry. What is this A, B, and C that the President wants you to fulfill at this ministry?
No, I think some of the issues cannot be discussed in the media because it's concerning the highest office and myself, Because if one is even appointed as a minister, is told by the president, you are going such place to hold this ministerial position. I want you to do this by end of, we have OPAs, what we call Organizational Performance Agreements with government. So he normally tells you that I expect you to do A, B, C, D. Those are not issues that I can discuss with the media, that this is what the president wants me to be doing at the ministry. But it is for the betterment of Malawians. I have to serve Malawians to the fullest, serve the president, and also serve government in the position that I've been given.
Do you think you did your best the time that you served as a presidential press secretary? I'm asking this question, Mr. Viola, because there are statements that are being made out there, assertions to say that this development has come because of some of your conduct, some of your statements, to say that have landed you in trouble.
People may say to whatever, but I believe an ordinary Malawian is a better judge with the role I was playing as the press secretary. That job, it is a political job. People have wanted anyone to be there to be professional and not to be political. It's something that cannot happen. One is supposed to serve the master.
So are you telling me that, or are you admitting that you were not professional in discharging your duties?
No, I'm not saying that I was not professional. It's a combination. You have to combine your professionalism and again the political environment. It's a climate. Because if you are there to be professional and not sufficing, not meeting the demands of the political party which is in government at that particular moment, then you cannot last long. I'm the longest serving presidential press secretary since Professor Mutharika became president of.
Can you give me an example of an incident where you feel you had to compromise your professionalism just to suit your position or your job as press secretary to the president?
I haven't compromised my professionalism at any other point, because you cannot just start opening your mouth talking before you consult. That job entails you to be consulting each and every moment. Whatever I want to say, you need to share with the people that are in authority, to say that we are going at this place, we want to do this, we are going to do this, what is it that I'm supposed to say? There are these issues, how do we address them? So you discuss all that when you are going there.
So, Mr. Viola, why do we see all these contradictions? Because even during your time, on several occasions, some people within the system had to come in with clarifications. We're still distancing the government or the president from your own statements.
What is the paramount? I should tell you, Mr. Msonko, if the boss approves what you want to say, if the boss approves what statement you want to make, you are safe. But when you make your own statement, of which the boss is not aware, then you are putting yourself into trouble. You can see what I've been doing, what I've been saying.
So how do these contradictions come about?
The problem is there's a lot of politicking. From morning, afternoon, evening, everyone is busy talking about someone, talking about politics. We cannot move forward. Leave Gerald Viola alone. After all, like now when I'm out of that place, I don't know what will happen, because what is in the spectrum, everybody is looking at what mistake you are going to make. Even a true thing which you can say, you find that it's being diverted, it's being misinterpreted. For instance, I'll give you an example. Where I was asked, we hear President Mutharika is contemplating on purchasing a presidential jet. I said, there are no plans. And the second question was saying, will he continue hiring presidential jet at the expense of taxpayers' money? I said, look here, let me give you a background of why the president is hiring. Then I started telling him about Dr. Banda having planes ferrying Bumba, about Dr. Bagiri Muluzi using MGF planes, about Bingu buying presidential jet, about Banda selling presidential jet, and now this president finds there's no jet. What does he do? He's hiring. And I said, yes, it is expensive to hire. But we are doing this because our economy is not good for us to purchase a presidential jet. In my opinion, I said, the best way if you had a better economy was not to hire, because even hiring a car for a year, you can buy 3-4 cars. The best was to buy one. But our economy does not permit. What happened? People twisted the whole story and said that the president plans to purchase a presidential jet when economy improves. Even if I said that when economy improves, who knows? When will it improve? Maybe after 5 years, after 10 years, when APM is not president, or after 20 years, or after 2 months. That's the way to go. But now people twisted the whole thing just because it is Gerald Viola who is on the helm.
there are reports that some people within the system have been going to the president, orchestrating your removal as the presidential press secretary. Is it as a result of that as well that you have been removed finally?
No, I don't know if there were such people who are orchestrating for the removal of myself. If they were there, which means they did well, because probably they had the reasons for them to go to the president to say, remove Gerald Viola. Maybe they had reasons. But for me, I don't know anything that the president was forced to be in the forefront in removing myself from the position. But according to the president, when we spoke, there was nothing that is negative. It was all positive. Whether people pushed him to do that or he did not, but it was all positive when we spoke. So it's moving on. I'm still in the government system, and I will be happy doing my job, and I'll be coming to Blantyre, socializing anyhow, like how I used to before. So I'm very happy man.
Are you telling me that you were not socializing when you were presidential press secretary?
It's a position that is always in the limelight, always in camera. People have to see you wherever you are. Whatever you say, they will interpret it the way they feel to be suit either their social media or their traditional media, just simply to make sure that somebody is cornered, somebody is trapped into a problem.
But now I'm a free man. I can go anywhere. That's what I'm talking about. Because we see even cabinet ministers socializing. What kind of socializing are you talking about here, Mr. Viola?
It's different, because even if I were there, how many times if I ask you, we met in Blantyre, you find that maybe once or twice. It was very difficult being in Blantyre, but you cannot go to other public places, any other place, or you have to restrict yourself in order to protect that office. It is the highest office, because you depict the president. When you are there, whatever you do, your movements should be in line with the highest office. If you make mistakes or you are careless, then you also find yourself like the office of the president being put in jeopardy.
Is it what is in your conditions of service as a presidential press secretaries for you not to be moving freely, socializing, meeting people out there?
It is not written, but some of the rules that we follow are verbal. Any other office is got its rules, the do's and the don'ts. Sometimes you have to check your own movements, you have to check your language, you have to check your dressing, you have to check anything else because of that office. So that's what is there again in that office.
How can you assure Malawians listening to you now, Mr. Viola, that you are equally contented with this position as a technical director in the Ministry of Information? I'm asking this question because I've also read somewhere that this development is showing that you're slowly losing the trust of the DBP Politburo.
That's what I said. Had it been that it came to the media without my knowledge, it would be disturbing. But if an employee and an employer talk about this issue, one is supposed to be contented, is supposed to be satisfied. These are appointments. Appointment is a 50-50 job. Today you are there, tomorrow you are moved to somewhere else. So Malawians have to understand that this is the trend that is there. It's not about losing the influence or losing the trust from the political bureau. No, political bureau is there, DPP is there. Malawians know me, and they don't want to tell Malawians what I'm capable of doing and what I can do. And I'm there to serve this government, to serve the president, and to serve the Malawians.
Today in the program, I'm talking to Gerald Viola, technical advisor in the Ministry of Information. You have become the third presidential secretary to be replaced. Do you think the appointing authority get it wrong somehow in appointing people on that position?
No. The president has his merits and demerits when he's looking at who is supposed to pick up the position. So it's his honor to say that at the moment I have to hire X, at the moment I have to hire. He can keep hiring as many as he can for the position. It's not a crime. It is his jurisdiction to do that. So there are no mistakes that he makes in appointing, no mistakes, but it's his responsibility to hire anyone he feels that he is supposed to pick the position. And at some particular point, again, if he feels that no, this one was here, has done ABCD, then he's supposed to go somewhere. It's up to him. Even if there's cabinet reshuffle, it doesn't mean that those people No, we can't go that far. But that was like a coincidence that I have known my next destination, so I don't need to hide. Because had it been that it was something bad, I should have hidden it. But to say that it's something good, let me start sharing with Malawians, because Malawians on social media, especially social media, are the ones that they just gossip, talk about, if I may say, nonsense on social media without asking the person. They take anything very negatively. That's a sign, as I said, of illiteracy and ignorance, because they don't know exactly. Each one just wakes up and becomes a reporter without formal training. That's what is happening on social media. While people like you who have gone through formal media training, you need to find out from my voice what exactly has happened as I'm talking to you right now, but not social media. So I thought, before social media starts spreading lies, let me tell the social media that this is what has happened. That's what I did. So there was no need for me to go back to the president to say, no, the president, this is what I want to do that you have told me I'm posting on. No.
People view you as someone who worked hard for this party, DPP, to get back into power, but I want to hear it from you. Do you see yourself as somebody who worked for this administration to be in place?
I think the appointments tell volumes that I did something. It's a contribution. Every Malawian who voted for APM, who voted for DPP MPs, DPP councillors, worked hard. So too, like myself, I did. Only that mine was too exposed because of the medium of communication that I was using. That's why people point fingers at me that I did something, like, as you're putting it. But it's up to yourselves, Malawians, to exactly judge, to say the contribution Gerald made is worth A, B, C, D, E. But in politics, we don't value contributions much, because anything can happen. It's something that you can lose focus. Sometimes they find that you are out of touch. They have sort of, doing away with you, to saying you have done your contribution, now we have to part ways. It happens that way. But it values still that they need to keep you and you keep working in the system. It's another thing. That's why if you ask me why I keep thanking, it's because of that. But he should have said that go back home and stay. He should have done that. Say you have done your part, go home and stay. So it's not about I did this, I contributed for this government to come, therefore I deserve ABCD. No, it's not about that. So it's about how the president values me.
Now, having worked for this government to be in place, do you feel betrayed now? Because you seem to be slowly but surely being pushed out of the system.
I wouldn't pay attention to whatever people are saying. What is more important is what I hear from the president. So at the moment, I'll keep to myself what I'm getting from the president as I'm picking up this new position. What people say, they'll keep talking. And in Malawi, the goodness is they'll talk for 1 week. After 1 week, it's gone and barren. But I'll move on. They'll talk in circles. They'll criticize even myself or whatever that they have in their minds. I'm not scared. I'm not disturbed. I'm working. And as I said, I have to work for Malawians. I have to work for the president and work for the government of Malawi.
People view you as somebody who is harboring big political ambitions. How far do you want to go? Do you think of becoming a member of parliament, for example, Mr. Viola? Like that?
Yeah. When you are living, you don't want to be satisfied with what you have. Business as usual. No. One, you have to be moving forward. And from here, I'm working for government. Who knows? I might be the next member of parliament. I might be the next member of the councillor. So I can be a councillor of my district. I can be a member of parliament. Who knows? But we'll put anything else in the hands of God. When time is there, people would know exactly the political direction that I might take at that particular moment. But at the moment, my whole concentration is on my studies, which I'm pursuing, so that I've done away with them. Then after the studies, then I work for government. After I expire of my contract, if it will be renewed, it's up to the president. If it's not renewed, I'll still move on. So politically, it will be seen as we reach the river. before we cross the bridge to say, no, this is what I'm going to do.
You've told me that for one to survive in that press office at the State House, then you have to be political as well. Are you telling me that you're DPP, Mr. Viola?
I am. Why not? You have asked me about campaigning for the party. I cannot campaign for the party which I don't support. I campaigned, I fought, I contributed for the party that I love. I've been in the party since 2005. So you have to combine, even in offices, people with political parties, only that sometimes they hide their colors deliberately. When it comes to time of voting, you have to vote for the party you like. So I like the party.
Is this telling me that you have given up on your profession as a journalist? Because I know that you're a journalist, Mr. Viola.
I am a journalist. I'm a journalist. I'll be a journalist. I'll die a journalist. But the journalists have political parties. You have a political party. Anyone who is a journalist is got a...
What tells you that I have a political party, and which one is this?
No, I cannot mention for you, but you voted. By voting, which means you have a political party.
We shouldn't be winding up now. Have you already occupied your new office at the ministry?
I reported after getting my communication from the OPC. I reported to the PAs of Ministry of Information, Tourism and Civic Education. So anytime when they are done with the office cleaning and all that, I'll be available in office and start discharging my duties.
Thank you, Mr. Viola. But before you go, I've heard some people branding you as a mere primary school teacher. What do you say on this?
Let me say that once a teacher, you are always a teacher. But if you work as a teacher, it doesn't mean you die with the same qualification as a teacher. I've done a lot of studies outside Malawi and inside Malawi. At the moment, I'm pursuing my master's degree in public administration with Pebble Hills University of the USA. So you can imagine, you cannot go into master's degree without bachelor's degree of journalism and mass communication. But because of diversity, I've tried to take a different dimension this time around into public administration because of the nature of the jobs that I'm doing now. So journalism is enough at the degree level, but now I have to focus on something else. So after my master's degree this December, when I graduate in January, then I'll be pursuing into my PhD so that at least by 2018 I should be called Dr. Gerald Viola. That's what I'm aiming at now.
Now, once again, thank you very much, Mr. Viola, for talking.